Hello and welcome to The Most Significant Bit, a podcast that explores the connection between engineering, technology, humanities, and the arts. I am Matt, and today we're discussing the impact of whales have on the design of wind turbine blades. In this episode, we will discuss how humpback whales influenced wind turbines. Humpback whales are large mammals that live in the ocean. While there is a lot of interesting research on humpback whales, I'm going to focus on how they played a role in affecting everything from energy output, comfort in your home, to computers. Marine scientists have always been amazed at how agile humpback whales are. But how are they so agile? This stumped scientists for a long time, because humpback whales have flippers that are bumpy and almost uneven, something that does not look very hydrodynamic. And looking at things like airplanes and submarines, it is easy to see how the sharp angles and smooth surfaces contradict typical notions of aero and hydrodynamics. A lot of research was conducted, and it was concluded their amazing agility was greatly enhanced due to something called a tubercle, the small bumps on the front of their flipper. The bumps move through the water in such a way that it keeps the flow smooth going over the rest of the flipper, stopping something from called flow separation from happening. Flow separation is when a fluid cannot flow smoothly over a solid and begins to detach. This will create a secondary flow that will sharply increase the amount of drag and will slow the entire object down. This is something that is often avoided in things like sports cars and planes. Things like wings, hydrofoils, and spoilers are great examples of these. Their design generally has sharp edges and smooth surfaces, so the flow can stay attached and move smoothly over the surface. But it was very easy to see how scientists were confused about how these bumps and dull ridges were able to have a similar effect. After it was discovered that the tubercle was able to increase the humpback whale's agility, thoughts about where and how it could be applied in other areas began to arise. With hydrodynamics and aerodynamics being very similar, it was easy to make a jump and make a guess that this could be applied to aerodynamics. One area where it was tested was in creating blades for wind turbines. A company based out of Toronto called Whale Power began experimenting with the idea of creating fan blades with tubercles on it. The test proved very effective and seemed promising. They then moved on to applying tubercles to wind turbine blades. The turbine blades proved to exceed performance at higher speeds and increase efficiency at lower speeds. Additionally, there is evidence to show that there was decreased vibrations and were even made quieter by the tubercles. The decrease in vibrations would prove incredibly important to increase the longevity of a wind turbine. The decrease in noise will also prove appealing to communities welcoming wind turbines into their communities. Whale Power has also developed a cooling fan for computers using this design. The fan is proven to be incredibly efficient and is one of the top fans on the market. Some engineers have estimated that this could even make ceiling fans up to 20% more effective. This technology is still being tested across several different applications and will be incredibly interesting to see how this develops in the future. One area I am curious to see if it could be applied is in airplane design. With how humpback whales are able to use this to increase their agility, I wonder if it could be applied to airplanes. There are several airplanes that need to have superior agility, such as stunt planes or fighter jets. So I'm very hopeful or curious to see if we will ever see tubercles applied to the wings of stunt planes or fighter jets or similar planes that value agility. Altogether, this proves to be a fantastic example of biomimicry. It started with a question from scientists that ended up with research and a conclusion. This conclusion was then applied to the world of engineering and is showing numerous advancements and benefits. I am extremely excited to see how this technology will develop in the future and if there's anything else we can learn from humpback whales. Today we covered how whales' tubercles have affected the design of wind turbines. It's really amazing to see what we can draw from animals for all sorts of things. Thank you for listening.